Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Team D Squared.
Hiring the right people has always been a challenge to all the organizations. The process of finding the right fit would cost a lot of resources such as money, time and people. Yet the outcome can be questionable. We, Team D Squared, proudly presenting PrimeHR, an online inbound recruitment platform solely focused on corporate recruitment process. In order to find the root causes of this problem, we had few interviews with market leaders in their own domains. Company number one is a large-scale software company. We asked about their CV screening process, and they take 10 minutes per each CV, and they are doing it manually. So during the 10 minutes, they have to check the LinkedIn profile and also their online presence in Stack Overflow and also in other online platforms. Company number two is a multinational company in fast-moving consumer good industry. So they already have a fully fledged solution called Talio. But when it comes to screening the CVs, they are not using it. So the answer I got was it is not customized to their requirements. Company number three is a medium-scale software company, and the major problem they are facing is the subjectivity of the CVs. That means some CVs might look tempting, creative, and information can be given to the point, but some do not, some aren't. So, but the potential or the abilities behind those two CVs, the people, would be the same. And the second question they were facing are the employment tests, where they don't have test that is tailored to their requirements, culture, and values. In a nutshell, these are the 4 points that I was able to come up with. Number one is shortlisting. It consumes time and needs a high accuracy. Number two, subjectivity caused by different forms of CVs. Difficulties conducting employment tests, and there's no specific tool to track employees and their performances. This is our product, PrimeHR, and we'll be launching it in 2 phases, where phase 1 will be initially implemented. Let me take you all through a scenario first. So, in a normal process where a candidate submits the CV, and this will be the information given in the CV, and you can see that's what company expecting more of that candidate. So, you can see these are not in the candidate's CV. So, therefore, we are going to, for a new approach where the applicant won't be asked to submit a CV. Instead of that, we will give him a questionnaire. And the specialty of this questionnaire is we have a comprehensive database that covering all the aspects that can be asked in an interview, all the questions. So, the company can tick the requirements they want from a particular candidate for a particular job question. And based on the keyword-based mapping, he can generate a questionnaire and give it to the applicant to fill it out. Also, the HR person have the freedom to add customized questions to the questionnaire. At the same time, it will be uploaded into the database as well. So this is what, after applying a bunch of people, this is how the HR person's screen would look like, where the information would be in a tabular format, and they can sort the information based on certain parameters, as you can see, and also the graphical representations would be also available. So this is our end outcome. Our end outcome is a structured format where the people who are doing interviews can easily go through and easily understand the applicant's information. We all know, like HR is the function where they only shortlist the CVs, and interviews done by the functional managers of each section. So these managers will have the access to our platform, so they can easily view this structured format. In phase 2 of our product, we are focusing on employment testing. The Belvin team roles, aptitude test, personal test, and job specific test, which we identified as a need that's lacking in the current environment. Also, we are focusing on machine learning and AI concept to improve our product as well. Our business model. Our paying customer is the HR departments of companies, and we are going with volume-based model. As you can see, there are 3 packages: starter, light, and unlimited. Our beachhead market would be medium and large scale organizations, and for that we are going with the starter package for the beachhead market, and the market opportunity or the market value of the beachhead market would be $300,000. And talking about our sales strategy, we have divided into short term and long term. At the initial short term, we would be having physical interviews with customers, and we will be promoting our product, and there would be minimal online advertising. But when time goes by, in long term, there would be lesser sales meetings and increased online advertising. After doing a bit of research, we were able to come up with 2 competitors. We identified Taleo, which is an Oracle company. They are currently short listing the CVs, but they do not eliminate that subjectivity I talked about. They just pass the information given from the CVs. Kenexa is a IBM company which conducts employment tests, but it's also not tailored to the company requirements. So this is why our product is different. Our product is inbound and customized, tailored to company requirement. It eliminates subjectivity, and also it's cheaper in the market. These are the financial projections for the coming 5 years. As you can see, the break-even point would occur between year 2 and year 3, and you will notice there's an increase of cost in the year 3 because we will be moving to the research and development like AI concepts, so therefore we need a bit of research to be done, and the end profit would be after 4 years around 300,000. My team, I am Dinitha Ariyathilake, third year undergraduate from University of Colombo. My friend Darshan over there is also third year undergraduate from University of Colombo, and Sahesh, third year undergraduate from University College Dublin, affiliated to NSBA. Thank you.
I just have a question around the problem you're trying to solve. This will actually sit on the company's website, right?
Yeah.
So the problem you're trying to solve is getting these CVs in a standard format so it's easily comparable to, right?
And also it will be done manually, so there will be time reduction in short listing.
Isn't the bigger problem though getting access to talent? I mean, isn't that the bigger problem than trying to figure out a standardized way of presenting the CVs? Isn't the bigger problem getting access to them? And maybe my question to you or challenge you is can you think of a bigger problem for the company? And I think you guys have done very well in finding a problem, but is it a big enough problem for a company to pay money for, right? It's like I really hate having a haircut, but at some point I know I'm going to go have a haircut, and I'm going to go through the painful process of having a haircut, right? So I'm not sure this is a big enough problem. Is my initial feedback.
So you spoke to these 3 companies, right?
Yeah.
So did they say to you, like, let's say if they advertise for a position, how many CVs did they get?
That depends on the position.
So the FMCG company that you had, who runs Taleo.
Yeah, they receiving.
Advertise for some position. How many CVs did they get?
They get 250 CVs.
And for management trainee position, they get around 4,000 CVs.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It must be around 4,000 CVs. So to answer what Jeevan is asking, do you have some information as to how much of a cost saving this is, or what sort of a benefit it is?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, when I mentioned management trainee position, when we ask how much time you are spending on shortlisting this, they said 8 seconds on one say in initial shortlisting. So if we multiply 8 by 4,000, which sums up around 8 hours. So that's what we are saving.
So 1 day.
Not actually 1 day. I mean, when it comes to 8 hours straight. So yeah.
So the other problem what they asked about the talent, let's say when you're screening, you actually miss good CVs because, like you said, they are not presented well enough, right? But you still want to have them, so on. So did you go and research for how actually people apply for jobs? Say if you put up an advertisement in Top Jobs, how do people send you a CV today, and how is this going to be? What sort of a change would they have to do to adapt to your system, so that the company can receive that CV in the way that you want them to? Do you look at that?
Could you?
So the thing is, right now, when I advertise on Top Jobs, right, we get CVs for easily we get 1,500 CVs for any position that you advertise. Right? Anybody who advertises. Basically, the people who are looking for jobs, they just keep pushing CVs. Right? It doesn't matter. They're not really read what the JD is, what they're looking for, and all that. They just send it. They let the person who is screening to have the burden of filtering, right? So they have not done the work to understand what this company is, and so on and so forth. So that is how people apply. Okay, so you still want people to apply through your system. So if that's how they apply, then if it requires them to do additional work because they're frantically trying to find a job, will this help the company get the talent that they are looking for?
So in this screening process, this will, in our product, will save the screening time by producing a questionnaire to the candidate. So if it brings a kind of advantage to the company, cost reduction to the company, it's better company should push the candidates to come to our system rather than uploading CVs. So it will
So that's, if they've got to go into your system for each company and do this 10 times, that's a lot for people to do. I know that right now they're hungry, so maybe they'll do that, but the ease of just putting your CV onto, a portal is just that much easier for them. So right now, no candidate actually does any screening. They just pick a job and they just go, here you go, that's it. 90% of the CVs that most of us receive are irrelevant to the job description you put in. So that's also an issue for us.
So I think Faiz is touching on a very good point here. He's saying maybe you could do a matching so that you put, between the company and the person.
Yeah, we're also CVs don't even have a cover letter. But the advertisement says write cover letter as a description. They don't even have a cover letter.
I see some confusion in your faces. First, what is entrepreneurship, right? It's finding an opportunity. So opportunity mapping and doing the needs analysis is really, really critical. So what all of us are trying to tell you is, have you really found the right opportunity? Have you found the real need? Talking to 3 cats on the street is not good enough. So we don't get a sense that you really identify the correct opportunity. You have to look at competitive space and see who's playing in this, who's supplying things in there. Big companies like Senate and things in Sri Lanka, if you want to start with, but wherever, you need to talk to them and see what are they doing. They're multi-layered, complex products, so you have to either do something, because HRs will buy that, because there's much more they're delivering there. Then if you want to add on to it as a component, as some app that goes into that or some other way, it is possible, but you have to then get an absolute need. The other interesting idea is to also pursue psychometric testing and labeling of people has been always problematic, right? Because it then actually disallows maybe some good people because it's gone into some black hole where you say, this person is a dog or something like that. So you have to watch it in terms of trying to standardize too much and then taking out what may be innovative or creative or something that really, so being standardized is not good, especially if you're exceptional.
I think just to add on to that, I think the workflow and of the recruitment piece is being done by many people, and it's there. I think the point that you guys talked about using AI, machine learning, and what is that piece? Can you elaborate more about what are you thinking and how can you use machine learning to kind of reimagine the hiring recruitment process?
When it comes to machine learning, what we initially thought was that preparing questions based on company requirements and depending on the previous answers given by the candidate, preparing the next question. So it is actually a lot to look into. That's why we have put into the phase number 2. We have to do a lot of research and development, and the accuracy has to be into a point that we can implement. So we have initially that's why we have eliminated that, and we have used it initially a mapping database. In our database we have attached our questions into keywords. So we are extracting according to the keywords, and we are putting into extracting them and putting into the system. So the recruiters can easily post it at or edit it or customize it.
I think if you can look at not just the question process for AI, but if you can look at for the screening, right? You can look at who the company is hiring, right, and who's not hiring, and you can really build a good model to use machine learning to really cut the whole process, human aspect out completely, right? I think you think about that. Don't push it out, because the workflow. Everybody has a workflow. If somebody's hiring a large number, they already have it, right? They're not gonna not do without a workflow. But if you really come and say, okay, here's the way to completely eliminate that, and think about the employees who are already in, and then if you have that who got hired, who didn't get hired, you really have some way to use machine learning to come up with something new.
Yeah, I might have a kind of closing comment. I can see we're about the end of this. So I'll give you the bad news first, right? Yeah. The bad news is that, everybody out here on this panel, the sense I have is everybody's getting a sense there's a certain lack of substance, in thinking this through, right? I look at you, I see 3 students studying computing, right? Now, if there was a fourth guy, the fourth guy who's missing out, here's the domain expert, the recruitment manager. Yeah. So, that's a learning for the future, right? That if you're going to develop systems, you can have all the technical widgets you want, but you also need the domain knowledge. So that's the bad news. Yeah. The good news is, yeah, you're onto something when you identify Talio and IBM. Yeah. It may well be that people need a widget today that they can plug into their websites so that they can capture the CVs directly on their websites versus going to somebody else's websites. There might be something in it. And the other good news is you might be onto something with this questionnaire business that you're coming up with, right? There might be something there, yeah? But again, you need to temper what I'm saying to you in terms of like holding out hope that there's something you could do with your staff, with my previous comment about the domain knowledge, yeah? Okay.
Thank you. I think in summary, I think you've identified a problem, but as some of the panelists said, maybe not a real opportunity. And I think you can take what the panel has said in terms of psychometric testing, machine learning, maybe using integration with LinkedIn, right? So if there's somebody that we really think is a good candidate and we market, then as soon as that person leaves their current job, if that notifies their HR manager or something like that, think about finding the right match more than standardizing this kind of template format, right? So there might be things you can do. So take feedback, and I think good luck. Thanks.
Thank you.